And he said that the wickedness burneth as fire, it shall devour thy briars and thorns, and shall kindle in thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting of smoke. Okay, read that again.
Therefore Yah shall have no joy in their young men.
Okay, now stop. Let's take this piece by piece. Yah and you Israelites, you young sisters, hear me good. This is why you having problems, right? I don't say, well, brother, why you picking on the sisters? I'm speaking to the sisters right now. I'll speak to the brothers in a minute. Yah said he will have no joy in their young men, right? You got to raise that young man, because many of our sisters are raising these children by themselves. You have to train that young man to be honorable, right? To be disciplined, right? Because in many cases, the fathers are not around to teach the child that discipline. So the mother has to play the role to discipline that child spiritually first and naturally second. You got to have a balance in that child's life. Otherwise, you're going to have a chaotic home. Okay? Fathers, to the males, you had no business making no baby if you still are an immature, non-honorable, and unstable person. Sisters got to learn to cut those knuckleheads off. They ain't about nothing. Cut them off. Right? So he says, Yah shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on the fatherless. See that? You put yourself in a predicament because of this knucklehead. And because of that, the Most High said he will have no mercy on their fatherless. And fatherless is not necessarily just because the person died, the man died. Fatherless is a person who's just absent in the child's life, not actively involved in the child's life, not bringing any support into the child's life, right? Okay? He says, and the widows, for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. That's why you gotta be, sisters, if you're single, you can't be a hypocrite. You can't serve Yah around the people, and then when you get in your private corners, you don't know nothing about Yah. You living just like Shimon Kefa was. He was living amongst the Hebrews, acting, talking like, yeah, Shabbat Shalom, brother. And then when he went back to his corners, right, and I'm gonna live right here. When he went back to his corners, he was living like a heathen. And Shaul called him on the card. And the brother's the same way. I knew a brother when I was in Chicago. He come around the Hebrews, boy. He knew all it. He knew all the Hebrew talk. Shabbat Shalom, Aki, all of that. And then when he left out of Shabbat, he went back to his heathenistic ways. All right. So the Most High said, the widows for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. What does it mean to speak folly? Speak foolishness. Speak wickedness. Right? We could cover a whole lot of territory just talking about how to speak foolish. You know, when you think about it, here's a foolish deed, right? I have a bank account, but I don't have no money in it. So I go to the ATM machine, put my card in the ATM machine, put my password in, and go and try to withdraw some money, and I can't withdraw no money. Why is that?
Nothing in there.
Ain't nothing in there. And that's how we gotta look at these people, males and females, that we are chasing after. It's like going to an ATM machine. You trying to get something out of something that ain't there. Bankrupt. And then now you mad, huh?
I said no wisdom.
No wisdom, none of that. And now you mad because you want that man to be a father. When he ain't never had no father in his life. And if he did, the example that the father left him showed you that he's bankrupt of knowing how to be a father. How could he be a father when he has a track record, right?
But even a lot of young men that didn't have fathers or had fathers that necessarily wasn't a good father, that experience should teach them how not to be a father or how to be a father. Even if they had a negative experience with their own father, that teaches them, it should teach them how to not treat their own child. So you can't always use that as an excuse because you didn't have a thing. Because for somebody, that was a revelation that, I'm going to be everything that I wanted my father to be. That wasn't there, or that was there but wasn't there, And
to add to that, you have to be willing to be responsible for your decisions you make. See, people don't realize that the fruit of your labor is a result of your decision. My father may not have been a good father. I'm just saying hypothetically. I can look at my father and say, oh, he wasn't no good, right? And some men say that. I don't want to be like my father. But rarely do they sit down and say, okay, how was my father? And what can I do to not be like him?
That's right. Instead of using that as an excuse.
And it all comes down to decision. You don't have a job. Why are you having sex? Making babies. That's a decision.
Yep.
You have a drug habit. Why are you making babies? Discipline will go a long ways. This lesson's going a whole nother direction. We intended to go. We're going to get back to where we was. But this is just a stopping point on the way to somewhere. As another teacher says, learning something on the way to learning something. Decisions. Make the right decision to do the right thing. Remember the movie, Spike Lee movie, who was that? Ossie Davis? Who was that? Was it Ossie Davis or was that it was Ossie Davis. Said always do the right thing. Wasn't it Ossie Davis? Always do, which means to decide to do the right thing. Okay? Going forward, what can you do? Right? My mama used to always say, and my grandmother used to say, you make your bed, how do you say it?
Lie in it.
You make your bed hard, you gotta lay in it. When we remember that, how do you make your bed hard? By the decisions that you continue to make. So if you want to see change in your life, and we can go back to the lesson. Stop making the wrong decisions. Stop being a whore. Okay? Men, stop being a whore. Keep your stuff in your pants. Sisters, keep your legs closed. All right? Now, this lesson was interrupted because somebody needed to hear that. All right, now back to the lesson.